Yes, sir.
Okay, so again, this is a line segment. A line, of course, is different from a line segment. A line segment is, or maybe a part of a certain line, but a line extends indefinitely in both directions. A line segment is a finite geometric object which has endpoints. Now, we define the perpendicular bisector of a line segment as that line that, again, as mentioned by one of you, the line that passes through its midpoint. So that means the midpoint of this line segment is a point on the perpendicular bisector itself. And moreover, it is perpendicular to the line segment. So if we draw it, we locate first the midpoint of the line segment, approximately, of course, shown there, and we draw a perpendicular to the line segment passing through the point. Now, this is not this may not necessarily come out in the quiz, but it may. Okay, so here is a problem that tests you on the concepts you have already learned. You will have to build upon those concepts in order to answer this problem. So let me give a particular line segment. So let's say you have two endpoints, like 1, 1, or let's say 1, 3, and then 5, 11. So let's draw the line segment. Its endpoints are those 2 points. So we connect the 2 points, we have the line segment. Now we will find the perpendicular bisector of this line segment, meaning we will not be drawing it, we will be finding its equation. So we are looking for the line. Again, what two things do we need to be able to write down the equation of a line? Anyone?
Hello.
What two things do we need to be able to find the equation of a line? Okay, what are the, recall, let's review. What are the several forms of an equation of a line? We discussed 3. What's the first one we discussed? Where you are given a point on the line and the slope of the line. What do you call that form? Well, obviously, you're
Point
given a
slope,
point
sir.
there. Okay, point slope form. And what is the point slope form? Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Where m is the slope, and then x1, y1 is a point on the line. And what's the second form we discussed, the most common form? Very familiar to you? Anyone? Mr. Kai Lim.
The slope intercept form.
Okay, somebody answer. Slope intercept form, and obviously it's the form given by y equals mx plus b, where again m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So if we know the y-intercept and we know the slope, we can write down the equation in that form. Similarly, if we know a point on the line and the slope of the line, then we can also write it immediately by using this form here. And the general form, which is ax plus by plus c equals 0. And the general form can, of course, be converted to mx plus b form by solving for y. So, in other words, to be able to find the equation of a line, we need two things. If we look at the first two forms, we need two things. First, the slope. of course, which tells us the steepness or inclination of the line, and at least 1 point on the line. 1 point is enough. Either the y-intercept itself is given or some other point, okay, other than the y-intercept. So a point on the line and the slope of the line. Do we have a point on the line given? Not the line segment. So let's draw the perpendicular bisector first to help us. There. Now, we don't know anything yet about this line, so we have to find its slope and find a point on it. So either we first find a point, if that's easier, or we first find the slope. So let's say we find the point first. How do we find a point on this line? Anyone? Mr. Kailim, can you answer
po.
that?
You
Oh,
get
sorry,
the
Kai is a lady, all right. Miss Kai?
yes. You get the slope
Okay.
of the line using the formula for slope, and then when you get the negative reciprocal of the slope of the line,
Okay.
you can get the slope of the perpendicular
So you're
bisector.
going to find the slope of the line first. Okay, let's do that. So as suggested, we first find the slope of the line segment. Okay, let's do that. So the slope formula, recall, is m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Where x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2 are 2 points on the line. And we are given the points 1, 3, and 5, 11. So the slope of the line segment can be found by using those coordinates. So 11 minus 3 over 5 minus 1. And that's 8 over 4. So it's a whole number. So m, or the slope of, if we call this, label the points as A and B, then we can write that as the slope of the line segment AB. So its slope is 2. Now, the line which we will call by L is perpendicular to AB. So remember, when two lines are perpendicular, their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. If they are parallel, then they have the same slopes. So to get the slope of the perpendicular there, we just get the negative reciprocal of that. Easy. So negative 1/2. So we have found one thing needed to get the equation of the line capital L. So we need just a point on the line. So anyone, okay, next. Let me ask Mr. Erwin. Mr. Mista.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me or describe to me how to get a point on L? Remember, it's the bisector, so it passes through where?
You can get the midpoint, sir.
There, midpoint of AB. So how do you get the midpoint of AB?
X1 plus X2 over 2 and Y1 plus Y2 over 2.
Okay, the averages of the coordinates.
Yes, the averages of the points po.
Okay, let's do that. So get the midpoint of AB. So slope, midpoint formula, we have 1 plus 5 over 2. So those are the x coordinates. We average them. And then 3 plus 11 over 2. So we get the midpoint of the line segment AB as 4 divided by 2. So 2, 3 plus 11, 14 divided by 2, 2, 7. So this one here is 2, 7. It's a point both on the segment AB and the perpendicular L. So we have found a point on the line L and the slope of L. So we are ready to write down its equation. Now, if you are not given a particular form to write it, then you can use any form. And since we have a point and then the slope, we can use just the point slope form to write down an equation of the line we're looking for. So we have, again, the slope of the line L as -1/2 and a point on it, 2, 7. So,
3.7 po yung point.
sorry, 3, 7. Okay. Okay, 3, 7. So y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. And then this is your x sub 1, y sub 1. This is your slope. So we have this. Y minus 7 equals -1/2 times x minus 3. And there you have the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Now, of course, if specified to write in slope-intercept form, then you still have to go through this step, or there's actually another step where you write y equals mx plus b, then solve for b. Of course, you can also do that. But once you have it in this form, you can use it to write it into the other form, the slope-intercept form. So we'll just solve for y. So distributing -1/2, okay, over. So we have this plus 3/2. And then we transpose, change sign, and then simplify. So this would be 17 plus 2 times 7, 14. Okay, 17 over 2 in mx plus b form. Anybody has a question? So before we close the session, because I plan to have the review really next week. Okay, so can I ask someone to give me the intercept, the y-intercept of the line L? Hans, are you here?
Hello, sir.
Can you give me the y-intercept of the line L?
The y-intercept is 17 over 2.
Okay, there. So once you have it in mx plus b form, it would be, okay, easy to give both the slope and the y-intercept, which cannot be, of course, done, okay, or found if you have it in this form, the point slope form. Okay, so that's it for today. Anybody else has any question at all regarding the quiz, or sorry, the assignment? The assignment, you have to answer the practice exercises in the module, not the one I gave under the assignment section or folder of the Canvas platform. Lahat yun doon sa ano ha, practice exercises in the modules. if you've read the modules, you will notice that at the end of each topic, there are practice exercises given. Okay, so no more question. O sinong may question yata? Mr. Michael Dumalag, you have a question?
Rinig po ba ako?
Yes.
Yung final po, yung sagot nyo, pwede po bang i-times 2 yung buo? Para po mawala lang yung fraction? Or dapat
you
po
cannot
walang...
do that without affecting the y, the coefficient y. If you multiply it by 2,
Hindi ho tama yan.
this is in general form. Well, this is also correct. So if you want to write it in general form, though it is not real, it will not come out, okay, in the quiz, the general form of an equation. You transpose these two, you'll have it in general form. X plus 2y minus 17 equals 0. This is also a correct equation. Actually, this also is an equation. So unless otherwise specified in the directions, you can answer or give an equation of a line in any way, actually, in any form.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Miss Michelle Chu, the practice exercises are not graded, only those that are part of the assignment one. Okay, that's it for today. See you Tuesday next week.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, I have a question, but it's about conic sections.
Okay, sure.
Is there an easy way to determine what type of conic section it
Yes,
is
of
based
course.
on the equation
If
alone?
it's just the question is just asking if it's an ellipse, an hyperbola, parabola, or circle. There's a way of determining that without having to use completing the squares. So for example, if you compare the equations, a circle as the standard form, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. For an ellipse, or for a parabola, usually you have something like this, depending on the orientation of the directrix. So you have this 4c times x minus h. And then for ellipses, there. And for hyperbolas, you just change that to minus. So usually you can tell if it's a circle if, well, sometimes, okay, when both variables, okay, let's have this one, x squared, let's say, plus y squared plus 4x plus 2y equals, say, 0. Can you tell me, anyone can tell me what is this, what this is, what conic section this is? By just merely looking at its form. Notice that both x and y are in squares, right? So you know this is not a parabola. Why? For a parabola, only one of the variables is in squares or squared. One is linear, the other is quadratic. So that's one way to tell if it's a parabola, if one of the variables is linear, the other is quadratic. So right away, you know it's a parabola. But if both x and y are in squares, then to tell if it's a circle, usually the coefficients are the same. Now, if one of the squared variables is negative in sign, or they are opposite in sign, one is positive, another is negative, then you know that it's a hyperbola. If you look at the equation of an ellipse, both variables x and y, the squared ones, okay, x squared and y squared, are positive in sign. While for a hyperbola, one is negative, the other is positive. So if x squared and y squared are opposite in sign, then you know that it's a hyperbola. Now, how do you know if it's an ellipse and not a circle? Well, for example here, x squared plus 4y squared minus x plus y equals 1. So you know this is not a hyperbola. Why? Because both are positive here. It's not a parabola because, again, both variables contain squares. So it's either what? A circle or an ellipse. And you can tell it's not a circle because they do not have the same coefficient. This is 4, this is 1. Unless, of course, you have this 4x squared plus 4y squared, then it becomes a circle. Okay? Does that answer your question?
Oh, yes po. Thank you.
Now, I'm not sure about that kasi the head teacher told me you will just be identifying what kind of a conic section a particular equation is. So if it's just really just that, then this is all you have to do. But if specified in the direction that you have to write it in standard form, then you have to learn completing the squares. And especially if you are asked to identify the center or the vertex of a given conic section. Okay, any more questions? Okay, that's it for today. See you again Tuesday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.